was the man who drew the rabbit out of the hat then, first time around, with that startling assault on his teammate. A very downcast James Ellison at the end of that race. His lovely American wife, Sarah, was saying that she'd never seen him so angry. She said he's not a guy who usually gets angry. I said, look, try and explain to him. He was part of one of the best bits of television entertainment we've had for some time.
And he gets another go.
And he gets another go. That's right. And I said, look, he's running at the front of qualifying, of practice sessions and of races. So it's really all going rather well, isn't it? Yes, he wants to win, but so too do about 25 other people at the moment. Leon Haslam then is joint leader of the championship on 77 points with Christian Hidden, with Michael Laverty 11 points back in third. Shane Burns, B. Wiser Ducati a point further back in fourth, ahead of James Ellison and Richard Cooper. They currently occupy the showdown spots, which will decide the championship in the last quarter of the season. Jason O'Halloran, Peter Hickman, Luke Mossey and Tommy Bridewell fighting to join them, ahead of Dan Linfoot, who can't understand why he can't get that extra 2/10 of a second round here on the Honda Fireblade. Lee Jackson is in 12th place ahead of Glenn Irwin, the rookie on the B. Wiser Ducati. And of the rest of the guys down there, we're not going to see Jack Kennedy, nor will we see Yuichi Kianari, because they were injured earlier in the weekend. The starting grid slightly revised because we've lost James Rispoli. He's a non-starter after that multiple collision at the top of the hill at Druids. Luke Mossey again on pole position, his second of the weekend, ahead of Richard Cooper and James Ellison. The second row of the grid, Tommy Bridewell, Shane Byrne and Leon Haslam. Row 3 features Peter Hickman, Michael Laverty and Jason O'Halloran. And row 4, Dan Linfoot, John Hopkins, Glenn Irwin. When you go through those 12 names, they are top-class riders.
Absolutely.
This is such a competitive field. Yunuzzo has to start from pit lane on the Gearlink Kawasaki. Remember, he was spat off rather unkindly exiting Druids, but fortunately the Italian still in one piece. And we were talking briefly to Leon Camia. He's a former winner of the 125 Grand Prix Championship round this very Brands Indy circuit, James, a matter of about 14 years ago. Luke Mossey on pole position, Richard Cooper and then James Ellison, so near to victory first time out. As the lights change, Cooper gets a little bit of air under that front wheel and just has to back off slightly, and that gives Ellison the chance to punch the Kawasaki underneath him. But it's Mossey who leads the way. Second place for Ellison. Cooper trying to respond up the hill into Druids, and Leon Haslam swooping round the outside of everybody, taking the widest line possible.
It's a long way around, is that?
But you know that he might make it work at the bottom of the hill. Not quite. Oh, dear me. Tommy Bridewell is lodged in behind him, if that's the right word, and Michael Laverty tried to make an early move on the Suzuki.
Yeah, Michael Laverty keen on getting a better result than his sixth, I think, in race 1.
As they swoop round that long complex of clearways into the Clark curve and onto the Brabham kind of wobbly straight, it's Mossey who leads it. Ellison second once again, 47. In third place is Richard Cooper. And then, as we got the charge up the hill towards Druids, this is the second of 30 laps. It's a mammoth task. Our timing screen's gone completely bonkers and tells me that Philip Bachman's leading from Jenny Tinman. I think that might be wrong, with all due respect to Philip and Jenny. At the front, we've definitely got the race leader, number 12, Luke Mossey. And already those two Kawasaki's just bursting clear a bit from Richard Cooper on the build-based BMW. And incidentally, very, very happy birthday to Stuart Hicken, the boss and team owner, veteran boss and team owner of build-based BMW, a man who has supported teams in the British Superbike paddock for many a year. As they drop into Paddock Hill Bend, then it's Mossey who has the advantage. The screen's reset
itself now, yeah.
So O'Halloran, Byrne, Hickman and Idden round out the top 10, around about where they were earlier. So Shaky Byrne in 8th place in that gravy train at the moment on the B. Wiser Ducati. There he is, number 67, just in behind O'Halloran, number 22.
And you know what I said about this circuit? All these riders qualified within about a couple of tenths of each other, so they can all do almost the same time. around the place, but within a couple of laps, if you haven't made the start, you can find yourself at the end of a sort of freight train and 3, 4, 5 seconds down through no real fault of your own. You're just in the group. You know, it's a harsh place to not make a start. Here comes Ellison. Lovely.
Just like that, Ellison cleaves his way
wide,
through, runs wide,
no,
but
it's all right. It's all right, is that? I think. No.
I did think, actually, that tall frame of Luke Mossey snapped up fairly late on, James. I think he felt he had the advantage going up the hill.
I think he did.
So, and of course, that swapping of position just allows Richard Cooper to sneak a bit closer in the black and white striped helmet, number 47. So this is already a great racing prospect. This is race 2 of the British Superbike Championship here at Brands Hatch. Mossey, Ellison, Cooper, Haslam, Bridewell, Laverty are your top 6. And behind Laverty, we've got O'Halloran, Byrne, Hickman, Christian Idden. That's the top 10. And I say this time, not so close for James Ellison. He just has to let things ride as they are. Oof, these lads, they have some moments, James. Do you just keep the power on and not bother when it does something like that? It tries to give you a kick.
Paddock Hill, you've got lots of problems there, but with just the shape of the track, it drops off a cliff, you've got less grip, then it hits the bottom and actually puts too much weight on the tyres as it hits the compression in the bottom, and the whole thing goes sideways. The suspension's almost bottomed out completely there. And
the ongoing problem they've had, James, in the Smith's BMW car with Howie Main wearing smart spike, it broke a rear linkage down there.
Yeah,
and then bent. The first one broke, the second one bent.
There's nowhere in British racing you're going to give your suspension a harder time than that particular piece of track.
They said the linkage was the same as that had been used at some point by Josh Brooks in World Superbikes without any problem.
Yeah.
So cutting round Druids then, we're on already to the 6th lap of 30 on the merry-go-round, which is the Brands Indy Circuit. And Luke Mossey still looking cool at the front and ahead of the rival Kawasaki team of number 77, James Ellison. And then Cooper, Haslam, Bridewell, Laverty still in that order. Shaky Byrne has, however, got the better of Jason O'Halloran, the Australian, and he moves through into 7th place. Christian Idden's also moved forward into 9th place on the Tyco BMW ahead of Peter Hickman. And again, head shaking their way out of clearways, and that is the move for Ellison. He gets the drive down early,
yeah,
and then runs wide
again. Yeah, it was actually the head shaking and the following roll off the throttle from Mossey that allowed Ellison to do that. These bikes have so much power. They're so fast on what we call the straight bits of this Brands Hatch circuit. He's still accelerating when it hits the bumps, and that's what's creating that kind of head shake.
James Ellison was just having a sneaky look up the inside as they swung left into Surtees, then right into McLaren's.
Nothing sneaky about that.
Almost every one of these the curves of this track, of course, named after famous names from the past in Formula One car racing, as we watch Ellison again try and sneak underneath there, going into Paddock Hill Bend. They remain 1 and 2, with Cooper sat there hardly sat there in 3rd place, wringing the neck of his BMW in 3rd place. Haslam, Bridewell, Laverty tucked in behind, and Shaky Byrne has joined them. He's opened up a gap over O'Halloran, Idden and Hickman. Yeah,
and set the fastest lap of the race in the process, but now he's got an issue in the fact he's got people in front. It's all right, mate, to do a clean lap on your own when you've space, but it's another thing, quite another thing, passing the rider in front of you.
And this is developing into, well, yet another race of real cut and thrust here that won't be decided until they run into the finishing line. Mossey still holds on.
Ellison tried really hard there. He got a really good drive out of clearways. He was having a go to pass there, I'm fairly certain.
It's not often, James, you see someone visibly up on the pegs, but Ellison was actually standing on the bike there.
He does that a lot. He says it helps to stop the bike shaking, and if it does kick sideways, it's less to kick. He's bumming sat on it, so it doesn't throw him sideways. He can control it with his feet.
Really impressive to watch. Look at all this lot going on behind. Christian Idden fighting to hold on to a place there. We got someone's blown up big time. It's Laverty. Laverty, who's 11 points off the championship lead, is out. That's a properly dejected BMW engine.
I tell you what, That was clever riding. That's presence of mind by Laverte. The first thing on his mind when he knew that engine had blown, he felt it through the bars, it lost power, and he thought, get it off the line. He did it absolutely straight away.
The safety car comes out, and Richard Cooper frantically tries to wave Ellison back past him. He doesn't want to be reprimanded for having made a move, or had he made the move before the safety car was announced?
Yeah, he was in the sort of maelstrom of that of the racing. You can't be blamed for that, and that's a blown-up bike. And he knew it straight away, and he got off the racing line straight away. I mean, that's yeah, you don't need to know what's wrong with it, Michael. It's done.
Hector Neal there, just smiling at ruefully at the.
You see a sideways.
Perhaps I shouldn't be smiling.
Watch how quick after it blows that he gets his hand up. Look, straight away. And listen, and that he took his left hand off the handlebar to let people know behind him that something had gone wrong, and that's taking a risk because.
Look, this is what was happening just before. At the same, oh, look at that! Ellison,
this is
move.
as Michael Lavette's back blew up.
And then I think, and then Cooper went through perfectly justifiably at that point.
Yes,
so Cooper was in second place.
Yeah, that's legit.
It might, and Michael Lavette, then the 34-year-old Irishman, one of three racing brothers, trudges off.
And when your bike is in the process of blowing up and rods and stuff's poking out the side, one thing it can do really quick is lock. And at that point, you need to pull the clutch in. And so he didn't want to let go of that clutch side handlebar for long, but he did it just enough to let the riders know behind him that something were wrong.
Now the timing screen tells us Ellison, Mossy, Cooper, so I think Cooper has had to drop back into third. You know how cool and unflappable Michael Lavette is. He's not making a big fuss about that. He's just. But Cooper is in second place. The timing screen gives us Mossy in second, but actually, of course, that's when they cross the line.
Time they went on the line. In actual in the race, he's quite legitimately in second place. Safety car in, and away they go again.
So this is. And this means that Shaky Byrne, of course, is just a bit closer to the guys in front, and he has Christian Itten trying to make an early move on him as they drop down into Paddock Hill Bend on the Tyco BMW. Still, of course, a joint championship leader with James Ellison, but Ellison now leads this, I beg your pardon, with Leon Haslam. Haslam loading in 4th place and Itten in 7th. So Haslam would take over the championship lead on his own if these positions were to be maintained, which I guarantee they won't.
Yes. If we had some ham, we could have some ham and eggs if we had some eggs.
12th lap of 30. So we're not even near half distance, although it will be soon when we hit that 15th lap on this riotous track here that always provides entertainment. Stop chuckling at yourself, Whitten.
Sorry, you've got nothing vertical.
As they charge up Halewood Hill, then we're on the 13th of 30 laps. Fastest man on track so far has been Shaky Byrne with that 45.5 before he hit traffic. At the moment, they're doing high 45s, right at the top end of the 45s here in this kind of maelstrom of traffic that's going on.
I've been impressed with the way that the tyres have lasted. Nobody's had any tyre issues whatsoever.
And the tyres are constantly on their right-hand side, aren't they, James? They're really any breather.
Yeah, there's only one real corner where you're accelerating on the left-hand side. That's Graham Hill. The next corner going into Surtees, it's kind of off the throttle anyway.
Completing a 13th lap, approaching half distance again. Dan Linfoot makes a move on his teammate Jason O'Halloran, passes the Australian. The North Yorkshireman moves through into 8th place then at the head of the Fireblade Storm. Jenny Tinmouth, their teammate, running in 22nd place ahead of Matej Smerts and Vito Januzzo. As they're dropping down the hill, there's the two. And look at this, Stuart Easton has closed the gap on his Californian teammate, John Hopkins. And they're running now in 11th and 12th places. As they come, the leaders come round the huge Clearways and Clark Curve complex and onto the Brabham Straight to complete the 14th of 30 laps.
Impressive right for Cooper, this.
Yes, he's looking really comfortable with it. He had that great result here in dodgy conditions, James.
Yeah, he did.
To come to Brands Hatch and do it like this.
But, you know, it's one of them places where if you can make the start, you do get dragged along, and it doesn't seem like you're taking as many risks when you do it in a race following somebody as what you do in practice, trying to nick a 10th here and there.
His apologetic teammate, Taylor Mackenzie, said, I'm sorry, but I felt like I was just riding around when I cleared off with the Superstock foul race. And both of these lads attribute a lot to this Bitubu suspension that the Italian boss comes over and sorts out for them. Oh, Ellison's in trouble! Ellison's in trouble! Ellison just can't. Well, if he was angry after the first race, he's going to be pretty upset now. Ellison pulls off, and the JG Speedfit Kawasaki has stopped. The Cumbrian then walks off, drops his head, and then picks it back up and walks off. He should get a warm round it, and oh, this is it. He just has to look up over his shoulder as Richard Cooper dodges to his right.
Whatever that is, it's a terminal thing, because he knows that. He knows straight away. That's the first part of clearways bend is that.
So that means Cooper and Mossy are the two lads. Mark Smith-Halverson shakes his head there, but it means, of course, that his other rider, Leon Haslam, is now in third place, and we saw how he was able to threaten everybody else during race one. Haslam is now third, Bridewell fourth, Byrne is up to fifth place, and Idden into sixth place.
Yep.
So it's benefited those two guys, with Linfoot seventh, O'Halloran eighth, Hickman ninth, Hopkins ahead of his teammate.
Here he comes. Yeah.
Haslam just
sits Mossy up a little bit, who immediately cuts to the inside and tries to get the run up into Druids.
And you know that Mossy's not frightened of anybody out there. He's just going to say, yep, you do that to me, I'll do it back to you. Mossy then drives straight back underneath Leon Haslam. And Haslam, of course, is being pestered by Tommy. I love the way that Tommy Bridewell said to you on the grid, James. Oh, don't worry, I was hanging on to the old girl, he said. It wasn't as easy as it looked.
He was very serious until he said that little sort of jokey bit at the end. It was very serious, I thought. Unlike him. I don't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign, but...
Shaky Byrne on the Ducati Panigale, the 1200cc twin-cylinder machine, fighting amongst 1,004.
That's Jenny. Oh.
Jenny is a second time today. She walks off, having deposited the Fireblade in the grass.
Well, she's tough, if nothing else. I mean...
I congratulated on her aggression in the first race.
Falling off motorbikes tends to hurt.
Yeah. Now then, Richard Cooper still, he has that little bit of an advantage over, and while we weren't looking, Leon Haslam has once again retaken second position. So Haslam this time made the pass on Mossy's stick, and he's there in second place. So JG Speedfit Kawasaki now running in second and ninth places.
You know, Cooper's through gritted teeth is saying, I'll show that Whittam. Won't win another one, eh?
I can't imagine him gritting his teeth. He's not a gritty teeth kind of lad.
He's a lovely lad, yeah, he is.
Tommy Bridewell there just looking on. Incidentally, despite his baby face, you know, he turned 33 on the 23rd of March. Richard Cooper.
Yeah. It's like Idden. Idden's 31, and he still gets asked his age in pubs, even though he's not buying alcohol, he says.
Down into Graham Hill Bend, Cooper, build-based BMW, Haslam, JG Speedfit Kawasaki, and then a little bit of a gap to Luke Mossy, who's got the Bennett Suzuki of Bridewell climbing all over him, and in turn we've got Shaky Byrne on the BY's of Ducati, Christian Idden on the surviving Tyco BMW, and Dan Linfoot, James, has made real progress. He said he was going to try a few tweaks to find out. He said things couldn't really get much worse, and it looks to be working because the North Yorkshireman's coming forward.
He is, yep, right at the back of Idden now, back of that group. There he is.
And there is number 4, Dan Linfoot. Behind him, he's got his teammate O'Halloran.
You've got to say his bike does look lively. When it bottomed out at the bottom of Paddock Hill there, the thing kicked sideways. It doesn't look the easiest thing to ride.
Oh, he's going to have a go at the inside of Idden, though, as he just chops inside him as they drop down into Graham Hill Bend. Christian picks up the BMW, gets the drive along the Cooper Straight, and they're absolutely... Oh, and hang on, is that O'Halloran? And Glenn Irwin.
Yeah.
Glenn Irwin is either out of the race or just off the track, and he's out of the race. I think the 12th place BY's of Ducati of the rookie Glenn Irwin has pulled off the track. On the 20th lap, the 20 laps complete of 30, 2/3 race distance, and Shaky Byrne moves in past Luke Mossy. Cool as you like. The vastly experienced 39-year-old four-time champ is through into third. Oh, not for long.
Oh, and that's... Yeah,
oh, go on, Luke.
Luke isn't so good into Paddock Hill, but he is really good into Druids.
Paddock Hill is James. Paddock Hill is the area of the truly courageous, isn't it? It's a horrendous drop-off over there.
It's one of them corners where, when you're confident, you've got a setup that you trust and a bike you like.
Shaky just says, "Take that, son. I'm not having that kind of treatment meted out."
Yeah, well, he said there's still fire in his belly.
So he storms his way back through into third place.
I said it's probably indigestion, but hey up, here we go. Bravo through on Mossy as well.
So Mossy's taken a bit of a beating there in the space of a quarter of a mile. He tries to respond going up Halewood Hill. And look at this, wrestling with that black and red Honda. There's the yellow helmet of young Dan Linfoot making a move, and he's going to try and
That's his move. That is his move. He drops it in, comes off the brakes really early, just turns it in with a bit of corner speed.
Could this be a double for JG Speedfit, but with a different rider this year? Because Haslam has closed right up now on Bill-based BMW's Cooper. And this is a good ride by Linfoot. Linfoot has now stormed his way through into the top 6.
But you never discount the old fella, do you, Shane Byrne? Look, he's there. You never discount him. Whatever happens, however much bad luck he has, bad setup, doesn't matter come race day.
Christian Hidden decides he simply got to do something, and he squeezes his way past Luke Mossy going down once again. That is Luke's weak point, isn't it? Really,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
When you said never discount the old boy, I thought because I'd just been talking about Linfoot, I thought you were referring to Linny.
No. Although Linny isn't as young as he was.
Fresh-faced he may be.
Yep. Hopkins.
And there's Hopkins, there's Stuart Easton. Look at this, Billy McConnell, number 3. Number 43, Howie Mainwaring Smart, has got his rear suspensions holding together, and the local man from just up the road. Oh, congratulations, by the way, they've got a new 4-week-old baby girl, and that's why he's in the caravan rather than back at home, even though it's just up the road. Sweet. Because he wants a bit of sleep.
Yes.
So Mainwaring Smart on the Smiths BMW is up into 13th place in the points, battling with Alistair Seeley, with Danny Buchan, and with Billy McConnell, number 3.
Back at the front.
And Richard Cooper has an advantage of about 2 or 3 bike lengths at the moment over. Look at the mono-wheeling Kawasaki, James. With that much power, it just picks up its front wheel along the Cooper Straight.
Fastest man on track, last 3 laps. Not the fastest lap of the race, which he has as well, is Shane Byrne.
Oh, substantially as well.
Yes.
Gosh, we're on the 24th lap of 30. This is turning into a real burner, this. Look at this. Cooper majestically leads the way. He's not so far put a wheel wrong.
Cooper's bike definitely looks the most stable of the leading 3 there.
So Richard Cooper, who spent a life in the Honda CB 500 Championships, Honda Hornets, Junior Superstock, the Boxer Cup, European Superstocks, also World Endurance, all sorts of stuff. And is now really finally making his mark in British Superbikes. What a storming ride.
Our floor manager, Charlie Hitchcock, is jumping round in the booth here because not only did he have a 9-to-1 bet on Leon Haslam for the first race, he's got Shane Byrne for the second.
All right, well, Shaky's doing you proud at the moment, Charles. Look at this. He storms out of the final turn. He's right with Leon Haslam as he crosses the line. Again, he was a 2/10 faster than Cooper, a 10th faster than... And 10ths matter around this track. It's so short.
Absolutely, and he's not got much time to do it because he's got 4 laps, and that's not a lot round here. That's quick. That's, what is it, less than, it's like 3 minutes.
James, when you're leading a race with this kind of
pressure
talent behind you, Cooper, presumably all he has to do is hit his marks every corner, every fraction.
Yeah, but that's so difficult when you're pushing his hand. It just sounds dead easy, that. But it actually isn't. You're having to push out. And like I say, to make a 10th of a second here, you've got to take a massive risk. It doesn't seem to fit somehow. There's Byrne up the inside, and that was coming. And I can see him winning this.
And that's a favoured move. Oh, Charlie's getting beside himself here. Shaky's definitely got what it takes here. He's even on that lap, he did a 46.2, even getting past Leon Haslam.
And it's another 9-to-1 shot. Charlie informs me there. That's another £18.
Come on, Coops. Come on, Coops. Don't worry about Charlie Farley's pocket. You're on the 27th lap of 30 here. And Cooper still leads it. Shaky Byrne, the 4-time champion, out back on Ducatis, the same machine that he won on back in 2003.
And if Shane Byrne has a chance on the last lap, or before, he will take it. Remember the last corner at Silverstone, quite prepared to go across the line sideways and cheating. Well, a big crash it would have been there.
When the two of them drifting balletically together as they storm out of the Clark Curve onto the Brabham Straight. And we're onto the 28th of 30 laps, and 3 laps is going to be gone in an instant round this course. This is something else going on. Richard Cooper, can he hang on in front of Shaky Byrne? That's a dangling foot there for Leon Haslam. He just might be beaten now.
I think he is. I think Haslam is. I think we've seen the best from Haslam now. Still a good day for him, but Cooper now, he'll know somebody's there. He'll be able to hear that Ducati. Into Druids, you will hear that booming Ducati. It's actually not the engine noise you hear, it's the induction roar on those things. They induct the air, but oh, here it comes. Brilliant move from Chamber, the same move as on Haslam. That's a fantastic move in a really difficult place to do it.
So Shaky Byrne, that is definitely his favourite overtaking spot on this Brands Indy circuit, and the Ducati Panigale makes it stick. Oh, Richard tries to respond straight away.
Come on, Coops, let's see what you're made of now. Prove
The
me wrong.
Ducati, listen to that bellowing Ducati as it roars out of paddock up to Druids. Now, Richard Cooper, can he improve? Well, he won the second race at Oulton Park, didn't he? He's one of our race winners already this year. He's lying handily in the top 6.
Chamberlain's come from behind him, and he went for the pass earlier than I thought. He must think he can just put a bit of time into Cooper now. He's doing.
He's put just that 3 or 4 bike lengths that he needs as he to enter the last lap, feeling like he's got this all together.
You can
Shaky Byrne, James.
Look at that! Brilliant.
Shaky Byrne, is he going to win this? He would become another new race winner. That would be the 5th different race winner out of 6 races in British Superbike so far.
And I said to him earlier on today, you cannot imagine coming to a BSB at Brands Hatch and him not taking at least 1 win.
Well, it's obviously worth. Listen to that throbbing over onto that big Ducati. Incidentally, Bridewell is still 4th, Linfoot is 5th, O'Halloran 6th, behind his teammate. And we got Luke Mossey's just had a huge moment, and it's dropped him to 9th place. Mossey down in 9th place, but at the front, Shaky Byrne, would you believe it? The old warhorse, he's never going to let the title go without a huge battle, and he's going to become the 5th winner out of 6 races. Brands Indy welcomes the old king back, and it's victory for Shaky Byrne on the BYD Ducati. 2nd, Richard Cooper. 3rd, Haslam. 4th, Bridewell. Linfoot, O'Halloran, Idden, Hickman. Easton grabs 9th place from Luke Mossey, and there's the birthday man. He's got a 2nd place. He'll be pleased with that, Stuart Hicken.
I tell you what, that's as good a win as I've seen from Shane Byrne for a long time.
And this is Shaky Byrne burning out for the big crowd at the exit to Paddock Hill. It's a great spot to view from and up the hill into Druids. And Shaky Byrne pulling an impressive uphill wheelie as he drops into Druids. And how chuffed is he? He's finally achieved his first win, reunited with Ducati on that fabulous Panigale. Thumbs up for Howie Mainwaring Smart, who finished 13th ahead of Alistair Seeley and Danny Buchan. McConnell just missing out on the points. And congratulations there for Paul Bird in the black and red shirt, the Paul Bird Motorsport team owner. Relieved to see and pleased to see Ducati back on the top deck. With the B Weiser insurance backing, they've needed a result like that, and they've got one.
Brilliant ride.
Yeah, superb. And he was obviously capable of those fast laps right the way through, and he just set those laps and just kept clicking them off. Petra, his Czechoslovakian wife, thrilled with that. And that is, she's probably because I presume when a victory like that happens, as your wife would have told me years back, it's a much happier Sunday evening with a happy winner.
It's a better week, I'll tell you. That's it.
Not just Sunday night, a better week.
You think he's pleased?
I think he's well chuffed. It goes to show that it's not only your first race win that matters. It can go on all the way through your career, James.
And what a career he's been.
So Shane Byrne, in his 303rd British Superbike race, achieves his 69th race win and his 92nd podium, and that absolute joy unconfined for the Paul Bird Motorsport squad. That's fantastic. So this is how the results read at the end of that race. Brands Hatch Indy Race 2 British Superbike. Shane Byrne, eventually by half a second from the gallant Richard Cooper, 2nd here at Brands once again. Leon Haslam in 3rd place. Tommy Bridewell, Bennett Suzuki goes 3-4 for a very good weekend for them. Dan Linfoot did get the better than Jason O'Halloran in the rush into the line, and O'Halloran had squeezed past Christian Idden's Tyco BMW, with Hickman in 8th place. 9th place for Stuart Easton, and that's more like it, Stu, and 10th place for Luke Mossey. 11th place went to John Hopkins on the second Pay Me Yamaha in their home round. Lee Jackson in 13th place on the second build-based BMW, just going about his business, the 19-year-old Lincolnshireman, ahead of Howie Mainwaring Smart, Alistair Sealy, and a final point for first race crasher Danny Buchan. Just outside the points, McConnell, Backland, Winfield, Matej Smerts and Vito Iannuzzo. The championship standings after 6 races. Leon Haslam, look at that, James. Haslam 93, Shaky Byrne has gone 90. Yep. He's passed Christian Itten into second place. Richard Cooper on 74 in 4th. Michael Laverty, after that misfortune, is in 5th place. Jason O'Halloran is in 6th place, which means that James Ellison drops out of that vital top 6, although only by 2 points. Peter Hickman is in 8th. Tommy Bridewell 9th, 2 points ahead of Luke Mossey in 10th. 11th place for Dan Linfoot. Lee Jackson, consistent point scorer, is 12th on 27. John Hopkins 13th.